Skyrim is getting close to being 10 years old, and after playing it again recently, I got to thinking, who was the biggest threat to Skyrim, other than the world-ending dragons Alduin and Pathos? And what I came to was bandits. Yeah, bandits. But before I get into why the bandits are so bad, we need to look into who they are. And in that vein, coming from the Elder Scrolls Wikipedia page on bandits, wouldn't help if we were looking at Mudcrap Wikipedia page, would it? Bandits are the most common enemies encountered across Skyrim. They wield a wide variety of weapons, ranging from bows, one-handed and two-handed melee weapons, and on the rare occasions, spells. Coming in light, heavy, and fur types of armor. Although most bandits are Nords or Orcs, bandits come in many other races, with the third most popular race being Wood Elves I've noticed in my game. The bandits are always appearing in groups of this sort, usually with a mix of weapons between the bandits. Most bandits often inhabit forts and caves. Bandit groups often set up regular patrols to guard the entrance and other key areas, sometimes numbering near a dozen at well-fortified locations. Some bandit gangs are known to travel the roads of Skyrim and harass people on their way to places. However, this is not as common as finding bandits in caves and forts. So with that out of the way, why are bandits so dangerous? First off, they're just people. They can hide in the general population and strike at the most key areas of a city or government. However, with most of the bandits in caves and forts, usually the danger is not in the walled settlements where there's lots of guards to help protect you from banditry. It is on the roads travelling from one hold to another. Take for example Whiterun. Entering the hold from the east, one must pass Volteam Towers when walking along the road, where the local bandits have taken to, forcing people passing along this road to give them money. Now in normal time, the Earl's men would probably have a problem with this, as it would disrupt trade and mean less profits for the Jarls of both Whiterun and Windhelm, and along with the Rift. However, with the war on, the Jarl probably does not want his men to fight, as each fighting man lost is a man that cannot fight in his war or defend his lands. And if the Jarl spent all of his men and effort trying to fight banditry, other Jarls will probably take advantage of it and invade his land and take his items. We have seen how bandits can put a strain on the Jarl's resources and tax revenue. However, there is one thing that makes them even more dangerous and deadly. Mining. With most of the mines in Skyrim being under bandit control, especially for iron ore. Let's take Whiterun as our example again. With most of the iron ore deposits being in the hand of the bandits, that means the Jarl's men must look elsewhere for their weapons and armour, especially having the companions in the city pushing up the demand for iron, metal, and steel. Where the bandits don't have to rely on weapons and arms they can steal, but can make their own, increasing their level of fighting efficiency. With the 2 points made, where does it all add up? Well, with the war being on in the beginning of the game, each side is afraid of losing troops, meaning they don't really want to deal with the problem. With this, the Jarl's power is centralised in the towns of the Hold, meaning that the very large wilderness, especially of Whiterun Hold, is unpoliceable and therefore left to lawlessness and brigands, which in turn leaves a lot of power in the hands of the brigands, meaning that if, say, the leader of Fort Greymane wanted to declare their own hold, and make their own rules, their own laws, their own taxation, there would be very little stopping them, because the policing power of the Jarl would be centralised in his town. But on the other hand of this, if they didn't want to form their own kingdom, they could very easily form their own trading empire with the iron reserves they have, meaning that if the Jarl wanted to purchase iron directly from the bandits, he could, using land or maybe pardons as a trade resource. But in turn, this would lead a lot more people into the life of bigotry. With bandits already being a major part of Skyrim's population, this would lead the entire country into anarchy, even more than the Ulfric Civil War did, which in itself would lead to the bandits gaining more power and political clout, especially if they went through the trading route with pardons, because they'd be doing everything legally, and then already having the bandits made as warriors, they would be able to project their authority along the areas along the Jarl couldn't, policing them, maybe gaining the support of the locals, and therefore becoming more powerful than they ever could as bandits. There is what makes the bandit powerful, its ability to adapt. It will always make it more powerful than a wolf, a bear, or a mudcrab, which its power comes from its raw strength, where from a bandit, it comes from its ability to adapt. This is what makes the bandit stand out among other human enemies, such as the orcs or the Imperials and the Stormcloaks to a degree, because they are so small they can physically adapt at a unit level, where any adaptations for the Stormcloaks and the Imperials would have to come from a higher command level. However, their small size is also a great detriment to them, meaning that they do not have the numbers to go out and conquer land and hold it like the Imperials and the Stormcloaks do. But, to draw it to a conclusion, in the game of Skyrim, bandits are nowhere near the threat level they could be if it was the real world, or even if it was a role-playing game such as Dungeons & Dragons or Edge of the Empire for Star Wars. Meaning, the only thing holding the bandits back is the limitations of the media which we experience the game through. If it was any other medium, they would be deadly, deadly opponents.